All right. We are inside of a 2012 Ford Fiesta. It's warm in here. The concern is that at times the engine will shut off while driving. Also, at times the engine will not crank. And it's also got a recall on it, unrelated. Actually, it is sort of possibly related. It's the TCM reflash, which adds the P0606 code to the TCM, which sets if the processor fails instead of just leaving you stranded with no codes. So, sounds like there's a tapping behind the dash. Yeah, thought it was the blend door making a noise. I guess not. Oh well. I'm going to take it on a brief drive here, but not go too far, because I don't want the car to stall in the middle of an intersection across town. It does seem like the AC compressor is making a whirling noise at low speeds. AC's not that cold either, so maybe it's stalling because the engine's overheating. Anyway, yeah, if the AC's not performing very well on your Fiesta and the car is overheating or getting warm, the cooling fan is a common failure on these, just so you know. And I do mean the cooling fan for the radiator, of course. Accelerating here from a stop on the Fiesta. Everything seems to be working fine. Cyclist. He was on the sidewalk. I didn't have to merge. And we're back in the shop. We've got the Miracle machine hooked up. Once it focuses here, you'll be able to see. There it is. Yes, that is correct. That is a 2012 Fiesta. And I do not want to show the VIN number. Alright. Even though you probably saw it. But we're going to pretend like that. We're going to keep that our little secret, okay? Reading codes. Alright. So, we have a PCM, that is P as in Papa, PCM, not transmission control module, but module performance. Then we have P2281, air leak between mass air sensor and throttle body, which seems to be a code I see a lot on Fiestas. P2610, PCM engine off timer performance. Fault is currently present. I'm not immediately sure what to make of this, but let me do some digging. Let me do a visual inspection. Alright. There's a lot of cobwebs under here. But, I hope I'm not going to touch a spider. Don't feel any air leaks between the mass air and throttle body. Nothing obvious there. No cut wires or anything like that. Just a lot of spider webs. I do not know, so let me clear the codes and run the engine and see if anything comes back on. Key in. Clearing codes. Alright, after restarting the engine once or twice, I mean, these two codes came back pretty quickly. PCM engine timer performance and control module performance. So, what do you say we look at the PCM? Would that be a good start? There she is. Alright. Yep, that looks like a bunch of wires. Okay. Some of these had no obvious issues with the PCM, no damage or loose connections or anything. Some of these had issues with corrosion in the corrosion in the fuse panel. If I can talk today. Ow. No corrosion, just a dead fly and some dust and debris up in there, But No, nothing growing, nothing piled up in here. So, So I'm not too sure at the moment. I'm going to disconnect. I want to verify the concern of where it's stalling. Maybe it's something besides the PCM codes that are showing up. So in case there's a glitch in the PCM causing those codes, I'm going to go ahead and first dust the cobwebs off here and get all the crumbs out of there and disconnect the PCM and the battery for 10 minutes and reconnect it. See if those two codes go away. Maybe there's a glitch in there. Then after that I'll drive it and see if I can get it to stall. I'm going to go ahead and cut this part of the video where I spray it because I don't want to blow the eardrums out of you headphone users. Alright. I think that code that says air leak between mass air and throttle body may just be an indication that it's running lean sometimes, and that's kind of where I'm leaning at. That's kind of where I'm thinking the issue might be now, but I'm going to let that sit for 10 minutes, unplug, try to reset everything, get those two codes to not come back. Drive it, like I said, and see if anything happens. I do believe I found the culprit to the spider webs here. Hey, little guy. What's your name? Roger. Oh, hi, Roger. Okay, it's been like 2 minutes, but I'm impatient. Do you think the capacitors have bled down yet in the PCM? I hope so. I've got her all buttoned up there. Of course, now I gotta reset the clock. Don't you just love that? Let's cycle the key 3 times. I've already done it once. Make the PCM wake up and go to sleep a few times. Start the engine. Do we have a check engine light? Not at the moment. Let's see if the codes came back. Shall we? Yes, they did. I'm gonna look at the fuel trims and see if it's running lean. I just started a second ago. Short term one. Oh, there's only one bank. That's right. It's a 4-cylinder. Duh, Ben. It's adding and it's subtracting. I'm looking at that right there. Don't focus on my hand camera. I mean, I don't see anything wrong there. And also the sensor's cycling strong and healthy, robustly, in other words. It's gonna go drive it. Side note, those two codes that are coming back, even though they're P codes, they're not setting a check engine light. So now I'm thinking that it's not related to what the customer's talking about, unless the PCM is causing it to stall. Back at it again. I'm going to do a little bit of everything. A little highway driving, a little bit of stop and go, a little bit of 30 to 45 mile an hour driving, and I'm going to floor the accelerator going onto the interstate to agitate any intermittent issue. I hope Roger the Spider doesn't mind going for a ride on the highway. It would really hurt my feelings if he gets blown off. Everything seems to be feeling just fine. There's a police car back there. Yeah, I kind of like drove by him going almost 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. But then I realized he was there and I slowed down to about, 7 over the speed limit. Now that gentleman over there in the blue car was going like 70 in a 55 and the officer didn't pull out there, so I believe I'm clear. Getting bored. Interesting side note here. Well, not really interesting. This is probably the 4th car this week that I've spent an hour, 2 hours with trying to figure out a problem and cannot replicate the concern and cannot find any hard fault problems related to the concern, and spend some time under the hood poking around, and I believe we've just been waiving the diagnosis fee in that time, so just kind of losing money every time there. But hopefully, I might be saying this preemptively, hopefully we can replicate a concern here. I just switched from the highway driving to the 40 mile an hour driving, and after that there will be some stop and go. but so far, nothing at all. Nothing at all. And it's, kind of frustrating in a way, because you're, trying to make money, but then on the other hand, the customer's got an issue with their car, and you're trying to figure it out and help them out. But I don't know, after a couple hours, if you can't replicate the concern and get a path for diagnosis, what can you do besides let somebody else put more miles on it, or let the customer drive it until it gets worse, maybe? But like I said, hopefully I'm just saying this too soon, but I've got a feeling about this, and that feeling is I'm not going to find anything wrong with it. But, let me continue down the path here. Are there any other techs here watching? If so, I'm interested to hear what you do in this situation where you spend an hour or two with a car and you can't get a diagnostic path going, you can't verify the concern. What do you do? It's just not missing a beat. I know you can't see it well, but the O2 signal is looking good, the way it should. Alright guys, we've kind of switched to the stop and go here. Red light, doing a little red light racing. Well, not racing, just, yeah. I'm going to take a detour, go through a neighborhood, and do a little more stop and go down there. Coming up to a stoplight here, going left. Coming to a stop sooner than I expected. Trying to turn left, and I'm blocked in. Waiting to turn left. I could have gone, well, that was pushing it. Nope, not doing that. Alright, I'm going to do that, obviously. Just listen to this thing. It's perfect, except for that AC compressor noise, which kind of went away there. Just keep you with me here for a second, I guess. Gonna come up to a stop here and over this hill, which you are not able to see. Yeah, there's a stop sign there. Let me make sure that noise is the AC compressor. No, went away. Can't hear it now. And now it's not coming back. It's kind of a nice neighborhood. It's got a beautiful view of that mountain there. Got that church off in the distance. Beautiful yards. Nice houses. If I were wanting to live in the city, that would be something this would be an area I would consider for sure. Look at that. Alright. See the mountains off in the distance there. This is a beautiful day, too. Nice and sunny and clear skies, sort of. Well, yeah, I mean, it's got some clouds. Oh, the clouds look nice, too. Everything. No, I swear I haven't taken anything. Anyway, coming up to a stop. I'm going to take a right here. I don't know, man. Let's get back to the shop here. Maybe drive it a little more first. I'm still a few miles away from the shop. Anybody in the mood for some Hardee's? Is it Hardee's where you're at, or is it Carl's Jr.? I think it depends on where you are in the country. Some of you guys might not even have a Hardee's out where you're at. I don't know. Yeah, they gave this car to me to diagnose because they thought it was a transmission issue, potentially. Obviously, it's not. And what I'm getting at with that is the transmission feels perfect, too. It's not even shuddering, the clutch. Dual clutch automatic. I'm looking over right now at the O2 sensor upstream, and it's cycling beautifully. I don't see any spikes on anything from the last minute or so of driving. So, oh, green light. Let's take off on this steep hill here. Alrighty. I think it's when I was commenting about how beautiful everything is, it's just such a nice day out there. It's nice and colorful. I mean, and also the camera is looking pretty good too. I like this new camera for sure. Yep. Ooh, load of wood. Yep. So right now I'm just cruising steady at about 35 miles an hour, and a couple miles away from the shop, maybe a mile and a half. Great day to go riding. I didn't ride today because I need to stop by the grocery store after work and I don't have saddlebags. Waiting on traffic. Waiting on traffic. Won't need to get into that left lane. No one's behind me, so I'm not holding anybody up. Alright, made it out here safely. Left turn signal. I don't mean to narrate every little thing I do. I mean, yeah, just trying to be entertaining there. Alright, well, I've driven it for about 40 minutes. I spent about 45 minutes under the hood, messing around, seeing if I can find anything, and I haven't. So I'm going to recommend that we get a porter, somebody who parks cars, or someone who drives cars around for us to put more miles on the car, see if anything happens. But I mean, looks like I'm not going to be able to fix anything here today. I haven't duplicated a concern. I poked around a little bit and tried to find something to diagnose, and I could not. The two PCM codes don't seem to be causing an issue because they are active codes. They're not setting a check engine light, so it's nothing a customer would see. And once again, it's not causing the engine to stall or causing a no start. When I get back, I'll start the engine a few times, but I already have. So I don't think there's anything wrong there. Can't fix them all. Maybe there's nothing actually wrong with the car in the first place when they bring it in, but yeah, it's just the way it is sometime. All right, appreciate you watching. You have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry I couldn't fix anything, but this is a day in the life of a technician. You spend an hour or two with a car and there's nothing wrong with it, and you don't get paid anything sometime. I'll try to get the diagnosis time. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye. Please subscribe.